Hey guys, Brian here with Solid Woodworks, and today I'm in Australia staying at a friend's house for a couple days, and he wanted me to help him build some bed frames. So while he's at work, I got some materials, and I have built one bed frame already, as you can see. Pretty simple, low bed frame is kind of what he wanted, but super strong. This is 1 inch thick by 6 inch wide pine. It's kind of some sort of green pine they have here in Australia, so this is kind of what I found best to work with. And I'm going to kind of show you how to build a simple bed frame today. So this is what you're going to need. When I got here to Australia, I bought a nice little set of Ryobi impact drill motor, and I've got a little bit in there about the size of my screws. I'll show you later what that's for. Nice circular saw or a drop saw if you have that, of course. Nice assortment of screws here. Tape measure, pen or pencil, and then a framing square, a triangle with a little lip right here. That really comes in handy, which I'll show you in a little bit as well. What I've done first is took the dimensions of the bed. It's a queen size bed. I found the length of it to be about 80 inches and the width 60 inches. So as you can see, I've already cut these down. The lengths and the widths here. Make sure that when you're cutting it down, you know that the length is 80 inches. And the way I attached these is had the short side on the outside, so you have to do 80 minus 2 inches, the width of this, so that now when it's together, it's a full 80 inches. You wouldn't want to cut these at 80, then have these on the end, which is an extra inch, then it'll come out to 82 inches. So think about that if you're going to put these on the outside like this or on the inside. What I'm going to do here as well is drill 3 holes, so that when I go to attach it to the other piece of wood, they're pre-drilled and they're in the right space. So since this wood is, as you can see, 1 inch thick, I want to go into the middle. So I'm going to make a mark at 1/2 inch. This is where the triangle comes in handy. I'm going to take it right here. I'm going to come in a little bit here, about 1 inch, mark, halfway, mark, and about 1 inch in, mark. You don't want to drill a hole all the way on the outside here so that it doesn't blow out. And you want to get it nice in a nice piece of good chunk of it right here, so you can go all the way through and hold it together real tight. So here we go. Pre-drill, make sure your drill motor is straight up and down in comparison to the wood you're working with. Make sure it's in the middle of the point, full speed, push through. Middle of the point, full speed, push through. Super easy. So now, as you can see, I have my holes drilled. I'm going to attach this whole thing together and then start putting the slats on. So another few things you really want to keep in mind is to try to keep everything as flush as possible. Even if you're working on a not flat surface, you want to try to keep everything flush. So you can see here, I'm trying to keep this as flat as possible, and the top. I'm going to put my screw in just a little bit here. Just hand tighten it for a second so it's in already. Make sure everything's nice and tight before I put the screw all the way through. One more thing is you're going to want to have screws that are at least double the thickness of your wood. So you can see here is 1 inch. This screw is probably about 2.5 or 2 1/4. It's kind of just what I had. So something at least to here, if not more, is a very helpful thing. You wouldn't want a screw to barely go in about this much. That wouldn't be helpful. You'd see how that has this countersink on the outside as well. That you want to be able and go all the way flush in here so that it's not sticking out. You know, it's got a nice tight grip. Now, as you can see, I have all 4 sides screwed in. I've got my box. Now I need to start cutting these top slats. So we now know that the width is 60 inches for this one, whichever kind of frame you want to build. You gotta find the full width. Take your extra pieces of wood here, cut them at 60 inches. All right, so for the slats, we know they're gonna be 60 inches. So here's my tape measure. Make a mark at 60. This is where this comes in handy. To try to make it as square and as clean as a cut as possible, I'm gonna put this here on my line. Go this way so you can see. Right there, mark it, there's your perfect line. So, you take your circular saw, be off to the side of it in case it blows back. Set it up on the line. you go, nice clean cut on the corner. Now only 6 more to do. So here's a little tip. You can see how my wood is nice and evenly stacked up. I've got my pre-drill. This thing is about the same width as the screws that I'm about to use, you can see. So what I'm going to do is drill these holes. I'm going to drill and push down as hard as I can so that it'll go through a couple pieces of wood. So then I don't have to mark every single piece of wood. It'll already have a hole in the next wood once I take it off. As long as you keep them all as straight as possible, this works out really well. So now as I take this one off, boom, 3 holes. Now I got to drill those all the way through and I'll go to the next one. And there you go. You can drill all of them twice as fast. As you can see, I'm down to my last 2 here. All these are already drilled. Now what I'm doing is putting the holes on the side. For, as you can see on this one I've already built, you're going to screw some screws into the side here to attach it to the end. So same thing, I have them lined up perfectly, and I'm going to drill these 4 screws on the side. Alright, here we go. All of these are pre-drilled. The first one is going to go on the end, as you can see here. And as I've said before, you want to keep it as flush as possible. So once you push it down, see how nice and flush that is. These end ones are really important to keep it nice and square, and then everything from there you need to pull together to make it 60 inches as you keep putting the next slats in. We've got the 2 outside pieces on. We can start doing the slots in the inside. So as you can see from this one that I've already built, there is a total of 7 pieces. 5 of them are on the inside. So what you want to do is take that measurement from the inside of each of the outsides, and you can see that there's 6 holes in here. Take that measurement, divide by 6, and that'll give you how much room you're going to have between each slat. It's about 6 inches, 6 1/4 inches. So what I'm going to do is get my tape measure, come over here, set it down there, make a little mark right here at 6 1/4. Come to the other side, do the same thing, 6 1/4. And then you're ready to put your slats down. Set it down in there. You can see your line right there. Bring it up to that line. On the other side, do the same thing. Find your line. There it is. Put these screws in, and then what you're going to want to do is also make it sure it's flush on both sides. This one looks pretty good so far, but some of them won't be because the wood might bow either way. Well, there you have it. 2 really sturdy bed frames for my good buddy here in Australia. Can't wait to help him carry him up the stairs, which is going to be the really fun part. Well, it took me only about an hour each bed frame. Only a couple tools needed. You could probably rent from the hardware store or get from a friend, or some people might have drill motors and stuff. Just kind of a fun project if you want to build a bed frame the height that you want, and or really strong compared to some pre-made ones aren't very strong sometimes and can get broken in the moving process. This one will last forever. And also have a nice little fun to-do project on the weekend. This only costs about $100 per bed frame, so about $90 for materials plus another $10 for screws, so it's nearly about $200 for 2 bed frames. And I hope he likes it. Any comments, leave them below, and or if you want to see me build something else, let me know. Thanks for watching.